Here we are, guys. Ah, man, what an ending to that match. As Riz Ravorian here says, some things are certain in life. Death, taxes, and dubious penalties for Juve when they're in trouble. And today, yeah, the referee just pulled one out of the bag, pulled one out of his sleeve. Why can't this match ever be drama free? I mean, we discussed this with Beppe before the match in the match preview with Beppe. Why can't this be a drama-free match ever? And it looked like it was for about 85 minutes or something. That was going to be, Inter winning it, as Benjamin says up there. We almost had it. We almost had that performance, and almost had the result. But it is what it is. And let's talk a little. Let's get it out of the way. Inter won, Juventus won. Let's get that penalty decision out of the way now. I've seen various different opinions on it. A few Trendrick says another scandal. Freak dumb freeze. This is why he does his best to miss the Juventus games. Dumfries, man. For me, okay, it is a very, very soft penalty, but guys, it's a penalty. That's all I can say. I saw the replay a few times. It's just inside the box. It's pretty like on the line, but even on the line, it's still a penalty on the line inside the box. That's a penalty. Very soft once again, as the meme is real. Like, people think with that when we're talking about Juventus getting these penalties that we're joking, and Juventus fans will be like, "Oh, you guys are always crying," but how funny is this? We expected it to be Quadrado, ended up being the other guy on the other side, Alexandro. But Dumfries, man, he has to be better. I mean, that was such a clumsy challenge coming in, in the 85th minute. The team is suffering. Everyone was making some rash decisions, like some of the clearances as well. But Dumfries, man, I don't want to start, criticizing him too much, because it's still early days with Dumfries. But all the things that I was fearing about Dumfries, that Keston here, he's bad at everything. Even on SofaScore here, I've got actually Dumfries' impact into the game, apart from the penalty as well. He had 1 out of 5 completed passes, so 20% pass accuracy when he came onto the match, which is awful. 0 long balls out of the 1 he completed. Lost the possession 4 times. Lost aerial duels as well. The impact was just not good from Denzel Dumfries. But I'm also going to blame Inzaghi for that. Bringing him on. I mean, Perisic did look tired, but I think Perisic probably could have stayed on. Bringing and then shifting Darmian to the left. Like, I don't know if that change was really necessary in the end. But I think overall, though, neither team really deserved anything. I think, Inter, we got the goal, but I think the 1-1 is actually the deserved result. I mean, it's the right result. In the second half, we sat back and allowed too much pressure from Juve, and this team just can't hold on to leads. I mean, I had everything prepared. I had everything prepared in terms of my title was going to be, we beat Allegri in the Allegri style, or something like, we out jihadi balled Allegri. If we got the 1-0 win, because Juve are coming off the back of 4 1-0 wins in a row, and we looked like we were getting that 1-0 win, not playing particularly great. But yeah, this team, and once again, this is another big match, guys. It's another big match that we haven't won. Atalanta, Real Madrid, Lazio. The only few matches that we've had this season, and now Juventus draw. We're not coming up trumps in the big matches. And yes, you could count Sheriff as a big match, because the other day we had to. It was almost like a final for the Champions League in terms of having to win. But in terms of when the quality is raised this season at the moment, we haven't won the big matches, and that's this is where the doubts are starting to rise within Inter fans and everyone else in terms of Inzaghi and this team. Because we thought, last season we turned the corner in the big matches. That's where Inter showed the superiority last season in the big matches. We're able to get the result even if we didn't play too well. But this season, even when playing well, we played well for about, as usual. We had one good half. That was the first half. We definitely, I liked the way we played. Juventus didn't really create much. They never really scared me at any point. But in the end, they had more shots on goal. They had 16 shots, 4 on target, compared to when we only had 2 shots on target. They had slightly more possession as well, 52% possession, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting, Juventus to be the one sitting back, allowing pressure and, being, that team that we know them for under Allegri. But they actually played a little bit better than I expected in terms of holding the ball as well. And yeah, there was also some disappointing performances. Of course, Bastoni once again. I don't know what you mean by the kid who's being bullied every day, but yeah, there's something wrong with Bastoni this season. We've talked about it for a while on this channel. He is our golden boy. He's the future of Italy, but even the things that he's good at on the ball, usually, this guy is amazing on the ball, but he's giving the ball away a lot when he's on the ball. He takes too long sometimes, he takes a wrong decision, or his passes are just inaccurate, which is, his main strength, defensively, physically. We know he's, not the greatest in the world, but on the ball, he should be, he is one of the best around. But today, once again, didn't really show up in terms of that. Let me get some of your more comments in terms of penalty. Keston, once again, he's going on the Dumfries criticism train. It's a penalty. Dumfries lost most of his errors and tackle causes a penalty. Another Chandra says Bastoni as well, not been good. Yeah, I don't know what the feeling is in terms of the fan base that, just because it is Juventus and everything, but to me, it's just naivety what Dumfries did. I mean, would it have been called if it was Inter on the other side? And I know there was also a potential penalty that Inter were talking about in the first half that I didn't get to see the replay of really too well, but it's painful. These matches are pain. This is why, this is the big matches. The tension is just so high, and I hate watching these matches, but also it's the matches I get most hyped for. But when they end like this, it really is so painful. I disagree, Benjamin. I think you have to blame Dumfries because that's a very silly challenge. I mean, you swinging your foot like that, like a madman trying to clear the ball when Alexandra just gets ahead of you. Especially in the VAR era, it's you saw the referee let it go past when it was in real time, because that usually would never get called. But now in the VAR era, and it looks like a light touch in slow motion, but this guy thumped him with his right foot trying to clear that ball. Dumfries made mistakes, but that still wasn't a penalty. It was on the line. Yeah, but on the line is a penalty, guys. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. Hakimi. Yeah. Speaking though, Hakimi today had a red card for PSG, which obviously Hakimi is much superior, but at least he didn't make us suffer like he has been usually with some amazing goal or assist that he's been doing at PSG. The contact was way late on the Dumfries challenge. That said, it was incidental and the handball wasn't given in the first half. Yeah, the handball one. I mean, they showed so many different angles. That one, I couldn't even see clearly the touch on the hand, to be honest. So I'm not sure, but I would have to see. They didn't really show too many angles on that, but the angles that weren't particularly conclusive to me anyway. Ahmad says he's pissed off because it finally seemed like Limone found the right balance and we look really good defensively. Yeah, that's what I was getting hyped, because the 1-0 win would have been so good. I would have preferred it to a 2-0 or a 3-0, honestly, because it would have just showed that this team is, as Ahmed said, has turned the corner around. Inzaghi's finding the right balance, but at the same time, it was a little bit too defensive in terms of a little bit too deep. We weren't able to keep the ball at any point. Clearances were so bad today. Like there was, some Perisic headers that went straight out for a goal kick. For a corner, or put Handanovic in trouble. Darmian had a crazy bad clearance that hit someone straight in their back, and Juventus were attacking again. Clearances, individual mistakes at the back. It wasn't a solid defensive performance. It was kind of a panicky performance, but it was just, luckily Juve just didn't have enough quality to really do anything in it until Dybala came on. And when Dybala come on, that's an amazing substitute, when you can bring on. And who did we bring? We brought on Vecino and Gagliardini. Sanchez was good, yeah, as some of the comments points now. Sanchez played great. He was better than Lautaro. Lautaro today, not involved, not active. It's not the Lautaro that we know of in terms of with Lautaro. Usually, even if he doesn't play well, you just expect him to get, do the dirty work, get, win some tackles, maybe get Bonucci and Chiellini a little bit angry, start some beef. It doesn't seem up for it today, Lautaro. He just seemed a little bit off. On the other hand, though, let's at least try to talk about some other interesting points in terms of some of the positives. Edin Dzeko once again. I think for me, who was the man of the match for you guys? I think Edin Dzeko for me has to be man of the match once again. It was between him and Vidal against Sheriff. Probably was Dzeko in the end. I think my Vidal propaganda gave it to Vidal last time round, but it probably was Dzeko. And I think today as well, once again, I think Who Scored gave him the man of the match as well by the looks of it. Yeah, him and Hakan had the highest ratings with 7.3. But I think Inzaghi should have taken Dzeko off because he was really tired at the end. He was barely running at the end, Inzaghi. And this is the thing that's happening now that I didn't want when we signed Dzeko. I was like, I'm happy with the Dzeko signing, but I don't want him to be Lukaku, the guy that we rely on because he's so vital to us that we can't even take him off. And he's becoming that at the moment, Dzeko. Inzaghi felt like he couldn't take Dzeko off, even though he was super tired at the end. And he was barely running at the end. So I feel like that's another substitution that Inzaghi didn't quite get right. Because Dzeko at his age now, he just doesn't have the legs to do that. I liked Keston says Perisic was the man of the match. Yeah, Perisic could be man of the match as well. But he had a yellow card. As I've said, he had a few bad clearances here and there. But he controlled Cuadrado. He definitely won the battle with Cuadrado, which is, the Perisic versus Cuadrado is the little storyline that we talk about in this match, because those two always somehow end up in some sort of controversy or something. But today, luckily, no controversy involving them two anyway. And Perisic definitely won that battle. So he's definitely, I would say top three in man of the match. Brozo man of the match as well. Yeah, Brozo played really well in terms of Kulusevski. Juve tactically came out with a 3-5-2. That's the first time they played 3-5-2 from the beginning this season, which shows that Allegri, the fact that he's mirroring us, that he was, scared. And Kulusevski was playing as a striker, but really his job was the same thing that he did last year when Juve beat us in the Coppa Italia. Shadow mark Brozovic, man mark him, literally follow him to the toilet, follow him everywhere that he goes. But Brozovic did actually quite well to get past the Kulusevski shadow and Kulusevski pressing. My brother Anthony is not happy. Oh man. I wonder if he's doing a live right now, but it must be painful for you guys in Asia and Australia watching this painful o'clock and watching the usual stuff go down, man. The usual stuff go down. Ahmed accepting application to join Matty Dams FC. Yes, he's definitely another one that we could say possibly man of the match in terms of what he did. But again, everyone was kind of up and down. I don't think there was anyone that was clearly really good. How was Hakan today? Mr. Godwin. Yeah, actually, he was good. Hakan. Let us know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think of Hakan? I was actually, I think that's probably one of his better matches today. Hakan. He was the shot that led to Dzeko's goal. Great shot. It was slightly deflected that hit the post or the crossbar, and then they went to Dzeko. And then he created that chance for Dzeko, who should have been an easy header for him to just nod it on to Brozovic. And then he was also mad at himself because Dzeko should be getting that pass right. That could have been pretty much 2-0 because Brozovic was going to be 1v1 on goal if Dzeko made that header. And that pass came from Hakan. And yeah, all the Who Scored, Sofa Score seemed to have given him, actually Sofa Score's given him the highest rating for Hakan. Yeah, he was good today, Hakan, and he wasn't even 100% fit, as he admitted himself. He still got some ankle pain. So fair play to Hakan today. Hopefully he's convinced a few of you guys who are on the Hakan criticism train. I'm still giving the guy time, man. He's trying to get used to a new position. So yeah, he was one of the positives for me in this match, Hakan for sure. Let me know your thoughts, guys, for Hakan. This game going to remind me of the Lazio game. Great first half, but let the opposition have too much control of the ball in the second half. Yeah, it reminds us of many matches this season now already. The Atalanta match was the same as well. We first 15-20 minutes we were good, and then we let Atalanta just come back into it. I just can't seem to be able to get 90 minutes under Inzaghi at the moment. This, as you said, the first half was good. And then, yeah, the second half, the tempo was like low, which is fine. Sometimes it's good to change up the tempo, slow things down. But it was, you could see the momentum was swinging Juve's way. And, when they're getting so many men up, when they're creating so many opportunities and little openings around your box, things like the penalty are going to happen because there's just so much pressure and the players are just, panicking and clearing for their life. King Darian says Hakan finally showed up. Yeah. I don't think I'm interested to say if you think the Hakan didn't play well today, because I'll be really interested to say, yeah, Mo completely, as I said, it was a penalty. Contact was reckless from Dumfries. We can talk about, Juve being, Juve, but I'm struggling to really get angry at that decision. I'm sad about the decision in terms of what's happened, but I'm struggling to really be angry at Juve or the referee, because to me, it's the right decision. Yeah, and this also says Hakan was fine today. Yeah, of course, if it was for us, it would have been 100% correct. But the thing is, what we feel is that would there have been called if it was Inter? That's the thing that, when we talk about Juventus' decision, it's like, would have we got that penalty? But again, we got a very soft penalty against Lazio last week. So Limone just said that we've been saying all along the ref was there and he ruled it out as not a foul and that was called back. That shouldn't happen. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with VAR. At times it seems like it doesn't have any power, and then at times it seems like it has lots of power. But then it is there for that. They said, go and have a look at it, and then the referee had a look at it in super slow motion. And in the super slow motion, it's hard not to give the penalty, honestly speaking. Again, our issues with subs, they don't bring the same quality. I mean, yeah, in the first like 5, 6, 7 matches, the subs is what pretty much saved us pretty much every match. We were like, the subs are bringing in the energy and the quality. But recently Inzaghi, against Lazio, he got substitutions wrong. Against him today, I feel like he got the substitutions wrong. It's fine that he brought off Hakan at the 60th minute because he had issues with his ankle, and usually Hakan comes off around that minute anyway when he's playing fine. But is Gagliardini the right substitution at the 60th minute? Because then you just know. And even Gagliardini, like, how many passes did he even complete? I mean, I think he had another bad impact into the match, like Dumfries. 5 out of 8 passes completed. He didn't win any ground duels. He won all his aerial duels, to be fair. But I just didn't feel like, apart from the aerial duels, I don't think Gagliardini added much. So yeah, the substitutions today, apart from Sanchez today was a good impact substitution. But I would have liked to see maybe someone who would have brought some technical quality. Obviously, we don't know how fit he is. He only got 5 minutes against Sheriff. Someone like Sensi, and I probably would have liked to seen Vecino instead of Gagliardini as well, coming on earlier. Even when Hakan showed up, people still talk about how he'll not keep up. People just like to hate on him. Yeah, I've been saying this since the beginning. I don't really understand this hatred. I mean, I disliked Hakan, and when he was at Milan, I really did not really get behind the signing. But now that he's here, I'm trying to be objective, and I'm really not seeing so much the negativity around Hakan. It really confuses me, and the negativity around Hakan. He was good, still prefer. Yeah, Vidal also. We have to remember, guys. Arturo Vidal. Just before the match kicked off, I saw the tweet that from Daniele Mari that he had flu-like symptoms and he was completely out of the squad, and that was gutting as well, because Vidal, and he posted a crying emoji on his Instagram after that, and that's I think Vidal would have been up for it, and I think with Vidal it would have been interesting as well, even if he didn't start, even if it would have been a substitution. I think that would have brought much better quality to the team instead of Gagliardini or Vecino. So that was, we have to remember that was and I'm thinking most of the predicted lineups had Vidal starting, so I'm sure that kind of threw a spanner in Inzaghi's plans. But it's a shame. Who else, guys? Barella today. What did you guys think of Barella? I think Barella had a very up and down game. He had some nice moments. He had a nice nutmeg on Cuadrado, which I enjoyed. Had some nice balls, but also lost the ball a lot of times as well, Barella. But once again with Barella, you just can't blame him because he runs around so much. SofaScore gave him the lowest rating in our midfield, actually. 78 pass accuracy, 0 cross completed out of 2. Only won 3 ground duels out of 9. Possession lost 18 times. It's quite a lot, but that's and he got the yellow card as well. But no, with Barella, we know what you're gonna get. Sometimes he just gives us such high standards sometimes that you expect a little bit more from him. Harish says the Juve luckiest team in Serie A. Hard to argue. Because the Inter had an amazing first half. We had a high press against Juventus. In the second half, we got complacent. Yep, agree. The $1 million question. Oh, Ahmad, why did you have to ask me this one? Yeah. Let's see. Let me get the table up. I mean, it's still too early. It's still too early to say things that we are the title race. And once again, guys, I'm on my mobile, so I can't bring on the screen. I can't share my screen with you guys. Hopefully this week my laptop gets fixed so we can return. So Inter are still third in the table, but the gap now is widening. The top 2 teams on 25 points, Milan and Napoli. Milan catching up with Napoli today thanks to Napoli's draw. 7 points is a lot of points to make up for, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. We were around this position last year. Let's not forget, we were 7-8 points off the top last season as well, and Milan had a great start last season as well. You just have to put, we had that run in the second half of the season where we just didn't lose. We went through that winning streak of 8, 9, 10 wins in a row, 11 wins in a row. That's the kind of streak you need to put up, but you have to put it up if you have to start putting that streak up now, and you have to start winning these big matches. You can't stop. You can't lose these big matches or draw these big matches. You have to win them. You have to win the points against your direct opponents, because everyone seems to be winning the matches that they need to win. You saw Napoli, Milan, they're winning the matches that need to be win, and we're pretty much doing it. Apart from the Sampdoria match where we drew, we've won the matches that we needed to win. It's the big matches at the moment that we're falling slightly short. Is Gallia even a footballer, Sheriff? I ask that question to myself very often, but the guy is always there. He's always reliable in terms of injuries and physically. Clearly coaches do like what he offers, but we just can't beat this guy. Conte, we used to show up in the second half exactly opposite Inzaghi. I disagree. I think today definitely, and the Lazio match, but the matches since the start of the season, we've been second half FC, in my opinion. Pretty much every single match, apart from the first one in general. But I remember Sassuolo, awful first half. In the second half, we literally saved it. Who else? I can remember a lot of matches where it's the second half and the substitutes that came on and kind of changed the match. But against Lazio and against Juve here, definitely the other way around. But in general, the trend with Conte was slow starts but finishing strongly. And that was also probably, the little Pintus effect. Painful, but we move. Yeah, Mohammed. Painful, but we move. We got to move. The schedule is tight. The schedule is busy. There's no time to really think on it. Dumfries Bedone with wooden feet. I don't want to count him out yet. Okay. Dumfries going to kill me. I don't want to. Today he deserves slander, but as I said, and you guys know that I had my reservations about Dumfries, or Brick Freeze as I like to call him, but let's give him time, man. Let's give him time. Let's not forget Hakimi was, that Real Madrid match where he completely gifted a goal to the guys, and he had adaptation time. And Dumfries, I don't think he's ever going to be as good as Hakimi. Let's get that straight. But let's not start, counting the guy out yet. I agree, Narzuriano. I don't, unless Perisic was super tired or that he asked for a substitution. I feel like, Perisic as well, he's a really good athlete. I feel like he could have, maintain his level for a little bit longer. Oh, Nick Knox, man, it is hard to handle these derbies, man. He is, but Forza Inter, as you say. But we just have to hope that these big matches, performances improve. Smiley, my man, in the house. Inzaghi's tenure so far has been a weird mix of Spalletti and Conte's reign. Smaller teams all good, and the bigger teams we struggle. Yeah, exactly. We still haven't really made up because obviously we'll take at least 30 games or something to get a proper idea of what Inzaghi's Inter is. But at the moment it's quite mixed. Sometimes it seems like we're second half FC. Sometimes it feels like we're, rockets out of the kickoff. Sometimes we're, very balanced. Sometimes we're super attacking. It just seems to be up and down at the moment with Inzaghi. So we'll see if he's able to really define his mentality and style of play. Language Tours, thank you very much for becoming a channel member today, bringing some positivity for me in this disappointing day. But it's not the end of the world, guys. 1-1 draw against Juventus. Let's not forget our record against you. Yeah, let's not forget, guys. Under Conte, I know we're comparing under Conte. First season under Conte, guys. Tell me how did we perform against Juventus? 2 losses at home and away. And then last season, yes, we did get the 2-0 win in the first round, but then we lost the Coppa Italia matches, and then we lost the second round as well. So overall, Conte had 3 losses and 1 win against Juventus. Juventus are our bogey team, even whether it's home or away. So a 1-1 draw in the whole totality isn't the end of the world. But for our Scudetto chase, obviously, it's not brilliant at the moment. But Juventus is still a quality team. I know they had a bad start, but you'll see by the end of the season they will be near the top. They will be challenging for the title, or being in the top 4. It's not as bad of a Juventus as a lot of people like to make out. As you saw, the quality of the squad today, when you're able to bring on Dybala and Chiesa in the second half, that is depth. No matter how good Dzeko is, he can't be our starting striker, an excellent substitution weapon. But who do we have right now, brother, man? Who do we have right now? If we had money, yes, it should have been someone like, Duvan Zapata, maybe someone like that. But how can you doubt Dzeko right now? He's outperforming Lukaku's first season. He's already scored. Hey, guys, he's scored more open goals against Juventus than Lukaku did in 2 seasons. Lukaku only has 1 penalty goal against Juventus, and Dzeko's already outscored him, and he's had a man-of-the-match performance against Juventus, which I don't remember Lukaku really putting up a man-of-the-match performance against Juventus. So as I said at the beginning of the season, I don't want Dzeko to be the guy that we rely on, but he's becoming that guy, and you can't say that now he should be a substitute, because this guy has to be the starter right now. He's the one who's putting performances, big goals, bringing people into play, link-up play, everything. He's providing everything. He just doesn't seem to have the legs to do it for 90 minutes and at the intensity that we need. But Dzeko is the guy right now. Dzeko is the guy right now, guys. The Swan of Sarajevo. He's the guy. We need to put away games early so we don't have to sweat it out for the last 10 minutes. Yeah, but today we didn't really create many chances. We're usually against Lazio as well. There's 2 games now where I feel like this attacking Inter team haven't really shown me, attacking wise, how many chances did we really have? I mean, even Dzeko's goal, it was from a shot that deflected off the crossbar, kind of got lucky. But apart from that, we didn't really create too much. Neither did Juve, but yeah, there was no chances today where I felt like there was a Lautaro sitter or a Dzeko sitter or something. It was a tight game. It was definitely a tight game. You can't trust for Gagliardini, let alone for 30. I mean, we don't want to be that harsh on Gagliardini, but yeah, today I did not like him. Barella looked fatigued. Yeah, Danakin says Barella was man of the match. I disagree today. Too much. There was really high ups, but there was some lows as well with Barella. But as always, he's a workhorse, and you just have to respect. Even when he has a bad game, the work rate of Barella is amazing. Our strikers are always too far away from each other. Yeah, I think as we've been saying, the Dzeko Lautaro partnership hasn't really taken off yet. There's not that, the Lula partnership with Lautaro and Lukaku last season, where they kind of seem to be almost telepathic with each other at times. There was a cross in the second half as well. Lautaro crossed, great cross, but Dzeko just didn't read it quickly enough. So it's definitely in the works at the moment. Khalid says that he's willing to bet all his money in the world if this was Chiellini tackling any of our players, and last minute referee wouldn't even look. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. The decision was probably right, but would they have looked at the decision if it was Inter or any other team apart from Juventus? I don't know. Yeah, the big matches. Going forward, this is going to be our main discussion point, guys. Next time when we play Roma now, Napoli, we still got some big matches left to play. It's going to be, the judgment, the stick that we judge Inzaghi on now. We need some results in big matches. I understand that we were on the same point last season, but that was with Conte. I don't believe Inzaghi can do it. He's not at that level. Yeah. I mean, but that's the leap of faith that we've taken with Inzaghi at the moment. He's a young coach who he hasn't got the track record of Conte. But this is the situation that we're in, guys. We couldn't. He was pretty much probably, apart from Allegri, he was probably the best coach that you could go out there and get. So there's not much else we can do. We've downgraded the squad as well for him. So we can't ask too much of Inzaghi, but all we can do is give him faith, and I have faith in Inzaghi. I've seen good things, but at the moment in the big matches, he's definitely not giving me what we need. And Gianluca Acquafredda, that is the trend at the moment. It seems like we just can't make complete 90 minutes, as Indra says as well. Complete 90 minutes. Tactically, Inzaghi outclassed Allegri today. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I think Allegri outclassed himself in terms of came and mirrored us on the 3-5-2. So he, they pretty much gifted that first half because he couldn't get near us. And then the second half, he's changed back to the usual 4-4-2, and Juve looked much better. Yomo Juve in the house as well. Dybala, congrats to you on the last minute penalty, but pain for Inter. But you see, this is the times have changed. Juventus fans celebrating a last minute equalizer against Inter. Times have changed. Eduardo, definitely, I think his plan was to start Vidal. And I think, as I said, I think 1-1 is probably the right result at the end of the game. I didn't impress with Inter going forward too bad. I'm starting my Lazaro drip load Dumfries agenda. Hey, I'm hearing Lazaro's doing okay at Benfica from my guy reviewing the TV. Odds on Mariani in a couple of years coming out and saying he regrets this decision. This one, I mean, the Pjanic from Orsato, that was just awful. This is as I said, this is the right decision, but it's just soft, but it's the right decision. Why can't Jacobi? Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, future Hendricks. Liam Mackey, now the Tuchel Correa slander is back as well. He's such a waste of money so far. Yeah, so far he's a waste of money. The injuries, and he's not really integrated well yet. But as with Dumfries, as with everyone else, guys, you got to give these guys time. And if Correa is injured again, you have to let him get a period where he has time to adapt and regular playing time. Yeah, that's the one hope now with CNC. I think this is the last chance saloon with CNC. If the pregnancy and the new baby can't save this guy, then nothing can. Lord Figo says not a penalty. Yeah, I disagree, Lord Figo. It's a soft one, but it's a penalty. Amedeo, what's up, bro? He says we need to get on a run. I think this tie will give us fuel to get on with it. Yeah, I think looking back into, we'll have confidence from this match. I don't think it's like the Lazio match. Obviously, was a loss, but the performance from this, the general solidity from this, would give Inzaghi and the team some faith going forward, I believe. But you have to start getting wins in these matches, man. There's really no who to celebrate yet. Exactly. I wish we can buy Zapata. Now it's too expensive for us, man. Out of our budget. Juve is just a shadow of themselves. Yeah, I mean, at no point today was I scared of Juventus. I mean, when Dybala came on, he definitely brings that fear factor. But Chiesa, Kulusevski, Morata was at no point did my heart, get into my. Oh yeah, how did you guys feel like Handanovic played? I think he made some decent saves, but his handling today and some of his passing was a little bit. We definitely control possession great, but should kill games early. Yeah, but today we didn't really have the chance to kill the game early, I would say. Need Nandes and Van de Beek in January to announce some title chances. Yeah, we definitely need something in January if it's possible financially. Nandes to be possibly, instead of Dumfries being the right wing back or even being the backup centre mid. With Van de Beek, yes, it would be nice. But once again, I keep saying to people, man, like you're saying to this guy to come from the Premier League where he's flopped to come to the completely different league and make an instant impact. These guys would need some time. Smiley saying Handanovic was ass. This guy is a big Handanovic defender, and if he's saying he's ass, then he was really chance. Perisic had one great chance. Yeah, he did. I remember, but guys, the guy sprinted like 70 yards. He won the ball back from Cuadrado and then sprinted. He should have done better, but on those occasions, it's very hard to give the blame. But yeah, guys, thank you very much today. 35 minutes of mixed match reaction. Disappointing, obviously, the final result because we were controlling, but 1-1 was the right result in my opinion. But we move, guys. We move. We've got Empoli in the Serie A next, not a big match, so a must-win match, a match that Inter just has to win, which we have been doing until now. And then yeah, we've got Sheriff again in the Champions League, the away leg. So yeah, keep a look out for that, guys. Make sure you guys leaving a thumbs up. I know the result wasn't great, but at least support the channel. Thank you, Language Tours, for becoming a channel member. Your initial month pledge will go to the Pupi Fondazione, Fondazione Pupi. And yeah, thank you guys for joining me and talking through our pain. Yeah, ciao ragazzi, forza Inter.